Welcome to FIU Football Weekly for Week 12. Panthers wrapped up the season last week against Western Kentucky, and Coach Ron Turner, as usual, joins me. And, Coach, obviously not the way you want to finish. Talk a little bit about that Western Kentucky game.
Yeah, it was the way we finished the last 2 weeks, obviously very disappointing and probably more frustrating than disappointing, because I know what kind of team we had coming in, and I thought we had a chance to really compete at a high level in this conference. And we did some good things throughout the year, but to finish that way was again, frustrating. But we weren't the same team at the end of the year or even in the middle of the year than we were at the start of the year. I made a comment to some of the coaches during the last 3 or 4 weeks. I said, this is like spring ball, because we're getting new guys in there doing new things. So we weren't even running the same offense, and in some cases the same defense that we were running, when we started the season, just because of, the guys that weren't in there.
As far as the Western Kentucky game, you guys really couldn't get much going offensively. What were they doing, or was it a case of that you mentioned, running a new offense type thing?
They weren't doing anything that we didn't expect. They did exactly what we expected. They just made plays. We didn't. We had opportunities to make plays. We didn't make it, whether it was a missed throw or not making a catch or not blocking, getting beat up front or whatever. It was just a combination of different things. But again, there was nothing there. There were some plays that we had there. We just weren't making them. I think offensively, defensively, everything as a team, we just kind of have run out of gas. And the guys are competing hard. They're playing hard. They're working hard. And we came out really, fired up in this game. And I thought we were going to play well. And right off the bat, they hit that flea flicker, and that kind of deflated us a little bit. And then, we just couldn't get anything going and didn't make plays when we had opportunities. We had a lot of plays on both sides to make plays, and we didn't make them.
They struck early with that flea flicker, but then you guys come out, you put some pressure on Doty and get a couple of 3-and-outs, but then they got going again. What do you think happened after that?
Yeah, we just, again, they're a good team, and they made plays. They did a nice job defensively after that flea flicker, got some sacks, got pressure on them, like you said, got them backed up, got the ball back, and didn't do anything offensively. And then eventually, they wore us down, and they went down, and they're very good athletes, made some plays.
Well, 5-7 in the third season for you. What did you like about this season, and where do you think this team has to improve on going into next year?
Well, what I really like about this team is the way they handled everything, with all the injuries and everything that we've had. The 30 guys that missed playing time that we were counting on. Nobody complained about it. Everybody just kept battling, kept competing, kept working hard, and so I like that. I like what they're doing there. We got a chance. I thought we were going to have a real good team coming in. We won 5 games, progress from last year, but the injuries really set us back. But we got a lot of good players returning. The seniors leaving. Really appreciate what they did. They did a tremendous job of buying in and help lay the foundation for future success. And we just have to, keep working like we're working. And again, we got a lot of really good young players. Got a lot of guys back on both sides of the ball that are good players, and some guys that didn't play much that are really good players. So it's got to keep working and keep developing.
We'll go more in depth on recruiting in our second segment today, but where would you like to see this team improve next year? In what areas?
I think the biggest area is to stay healthy.
Yeah.
I mean, we got to get stronger. Hopefully that'll help staying healthy. We got to get stronger. We had a lot of young guys playing that probably weren't ready to play, and I'm sure that had an effect on them, especially playing more plays than they should have. Kind of got worn down. So the biggest thing is we just have to stay healthy, continue to make progress, and the biggest area improvement, I think, is we have to get stronger up front on both sides of the ball, and that'll come with experience. When you're young, you're not going to be as strong as teams that are senior dominant teams.
All right, we'll take a quick break and come back, and we'll look at what FIU is losing on the field and where they'll be looking in recruiting for next season.
Conference USA has a history of greats.
But being great is not limited to athletics.
Be authentic.
Be determined. Be proud.
Be dynamic.
Be diverse.
Be kind.
Be a good sport.
Be thankful.
Be happy.
Be reliable.
Be genuine.
Be the next great in Conference USA history.
Be the next.
Welcome back to FIU Football Weekly, our last segment of the season here. And, Coach, we're going to take a little bit about look at recruiting. Obviously, we can't mention specific names because that would be an NCAA violation. But let's take a look at what you're losing position by position and where you think you got to really fill the holes. Quarterback, you're pretty much set with Magoo and Christian Alexander, et cetera, et cetera. Running backs, you're losing Anton Samuel. Do you want to get bigger backs there? What do you want to do with the running backs?
Yeah, we're going to recruit and bring in 1 or 2 backs. We weren't productive backs. I don't really care, the big, small, whatever. We got Napoleon Maxwell coming back,
right,
who's a big physical back, who's also probably our fastest back. It hurt losing him this year. He provides another dimension in there, so we'll get him back, which will be great. We got Alfonso in there, coming back. So, and he's going to continue to get bigger and stronger. So, but we definitely want to bring in at least one, maybe two backs.
You brought in Colin Olson last year as a fullback. I mean, do you want to keep adding another fullback, or do you see, maybe going back to two tight end sets?
Well, we like two tight end set. That's what we do a lot of. We lost our tight end, so I kind of got us out of that this year. But that's what we do. And the second tight end can be a fullback as well. We motion and we do a lot of things with them. We brought Colin Olson not just as a fullback. We brought him in as a running back that could play fullback, and he's doing both. And he came very close to playing. He was about ready to go, and then he got a concussion, so it held him out of it. But he's going to be a good player, both as a running back and as a fullback. He can be the single back there, or we can go in two backs, and he can be as a fullback. But we are looking to recruit a true, pure fullback as well.
At receiver, you're losing Juwan Caesar, Clinton Taylor. What do you want to do there? You want to add more size, more speed?
More speed, continue to get speed. That's always what it's about. But I like our young receivers. We've got some good young receivers that are going to be good players. The ones that played this year. T.O. had a good year. He's going to continue to get better. Dennis Turner, as he gets a little bit stronger. He's got the speed as he continues to develop and gets a little bit stronger. Julian Williams came on and did some really good things for us. He can run. Austin Maloney, coming up. So we've got some really good, young guys that can jump in the mix and come out there and compete. Mark Hutchinson, Cody Hodgins, a lot of guys that we think can step in and fill the void either outside or inside in the slot. And I'm sure I'm leaving out some guys.
Right.
But when we also have 4 receivers committed right now, next year's class, which I can't mention their names, but we've got 4 guys in there that we're looking for that we think can come in and provide immediate help as well.
Losing 2 productive tight ends in Joaquin Griner and Akil Danfoda. You get Jonnu Smith back. I'm sure you want to add some tight ends as well.
Yeah, but we'll look at tight ends. We'll probably bring in one. Again, we've got some guys that we feel good about with Jonnu coming back. Hurt his knee. He'll come back from that and be fine. We've got a transfer, came in from Tennessee, A.J. Brown-Sale, who looks really good on the scout team. Matt Carey, freshman. So we've got some guys there that, they're good, but we'd like to bring in one more.
O-line, Aaron Nielsen really is the only senior, by my count. I may be missing.
No, he is. We really have our entire offensive line back, and 3 freshmen started the majority of the year that are going to be really, really good players. None of them probably should have been playing this year, at least not that much. But they got the experience. Got to get them in the weight room, get them stronger, get Daquan Wilkie bigger, put some weight on him, put some strength on him, because he does some really good things. He started all 12 games, and he just wasn't ready to do that physically.
Yeah.
But he did. And then Chris Miller and Kayab Shear started a bunch of about 5 or 6 games each. Going to be really good players. So we got some good young players.
D-line is probably the area where you lose the most. Michael Wakefield, Denzel Pirine, 2 stalwarts there, and then on the interior, Lars Coote, Darian Dyson.
Yeah, we lose, our production, the defensive line, no question about it. But again, we got some young players,
right.
I think, that got experience this year. Furman Silva is going to have a great future, going to be a very good player. Anthony Johnson really played well at the end. John Broom stepped up, played well. So we got some guys I think can step in. Amar J. Alberry inside, played really well for us. And some of the other guys need to step up, and we'll continue to recruit in that area as well. And maybe look at a junior college defensive lineman as well.
Get more beef in there, maybe from the JUCO area.
Exactly. Somebody who's a little bit older. We're going to be young, so somebody, a little bit older, a little more experience.
Good news on the linebackers is you get everybody back, with the exception of Jeff Day, who's this graduate senior, and I'm sure you're looking forward to getting Davison Coleman and Trayvon Williams back. Yeah, we got to get those guys back. They're good players. They're playmakers. They played the whole year before, so we'll get them back. That'll help, along with the guys that we had. And Anthony Wind is a very, very good player. I'm excited about him. He started all 12 games this year. Really good physical player. Probably move him inside to the Mike linebacker, which I think is his more natural position, which is where he belongs. And I do want to comment on Jeff Tay. Came in, transferred from Minnesota, and graduate transfer. Really stepped in and did a nice job for us once Trayvon went down. Lose 2 pillars in the secondary, in Richard Leonard and Jeremiah McKinnon, but you did play a ton of young cornerbacks this year that got game experience. Yeah. We did. Obviously, Jeremiah and Rich are, 2 very productive players. Last 2 years, they've been extremely solid. We knew we could count on them to play well, and they did. But we have some young players. Emmanuel Lubin's got a great future. He's long.
He can run. He played a lot this year, played well. Kenyatta Anderson got some playing time this year, going to be good. All of our safeties, Tyree Johnson, Nico Gonzalez, those guys got a lot of reps. Mark Bruno played a lot. So a lot of those young players played, and at times played really well. Same thing kind of we talked about the offensive line. A lot of them shouldn't have been playing that much this year, but they did.
Now, this is a guy that his name doesn't get mentioned unless he does something wrong, and that's your long snapper, Brandon Taylor, who's been solid for you. And I know it's not a position of fame or glory, but you're going to lose him too.
Yeah, he did a nice job. You didn't mention his name all year, so that's a good thing.
Yeah.
As a short snapper. He was our short snapper this year, doing field goals,
Sam
extra
Medlock
points.
along.
And, and was outstanding, very consistent. And then Sam Medlock's our long snapper on punts. Not only a good snapper, had a very good year, snapped the ball, but he's an outstanding cover guy.
Well, that'll do it for FIU Football Weekly for the 2015 season. For Coach Ron Turner, our executive producer, Chris Santiago, our coordinating producer, Brian Duvall, and our technician, Sam Pujol. This is Pete Pelegrin wishing you a good week.